Hello, everyone. Happy Sunshine Sunday, wherever you are. Welcome back or welcome to the MIDC Women's Empowerment Network's presentation of self-love. It's a boot camp, y'all. We've been going at this now. This is our 14th day. And just want to welcome everyone on. And so today, we're calling Sundays our Q&A because all week long we're focusing on introducing various kinds of techniques so that you can lift your spirits, feel better, and just think creatively over the fact that this may be an opportunity for us. At least let us look at that. So this all came about because of COVID-19. And we actually started by having some teleconferences with a lot of different women, a lot of women that belong to Women's Empowerment Network. We put something together just so that we could have a means of being able to support one another, to check in with one another, to see what things may have been needed, just to talk about our situations in our different states. And so we had, I think that there were two very wonderful, strong conversations during the month of April. And they lasted a couple of hours each, those conversations. And it was through that the idea came to go ahead and to have a 30 minutes a day self-love boot camp challenge, right? Because so often we don't prioritize the things that we need. And it's wonderful to be an honorable person and to look out for others. I believe that that's part of the meaning of our lives, to do that. But we also have to be able to have the energy ourselves to be able to do that and feel the love and the happiness. And so this is what it's all been about. So today I'm really going to be checking in, kind of zooming in to see if there are any questions, right? And as we started at the beginning of the week, this week was Kuumba week, which means creativity and creating things out of nothing. And so we started with this, my explaining of beginning this, what I felt to be a self-love piece by starting with my shadow as a background. And then now I'm beginning to add just some sister power here. It's going to be all over this particular canvas. And so we started off with just doing some sketching, talking about that, having you think about how creativity can help to keep us in the presence of mind. And when we're doing that, oftentimes we're not off worrying about something else, worrying about the future for which it hasn't happened yet, right? And so just how can we use creativity to be able to calm the spirit, calm our being, know that we can trust that things will be okay. We're here. And so again, how do we find opportunities in challenging times, right? This has also been about the elders, about our ancestors. And I'm especially taken back from being able to have this opportunity to do this particular 30-day. And so for those who might be joining, and this may be your first time, I'd like to just introduce myself to you. My name is Karen Dade, and I usually at the very end when we call our names out to empower ourselves, I say my full name. And we're definitely going to do that exercise before we check out today. But my background is in education. I've been an educator for more than 40 years, starting K through 12 as a cultural arts specialist in the schools, in Boston Public Schools, and then all the way to becoming a full professor. So it's been a really long ride, and I've been all over the world with having that opportunity to be an educator. And in addition to that, I am also an entrepreneur. And so we'll be talking about some entrepreneurial things and things that we can be thinking about, again, as we're switching gears for this new norm. Alrighty, so I want to say hi to everyone. Folks are coming on and you're joining, and I'm going to open for questions in a little while. I thought that I would simply just kind of talk with you on an authentic sort of personal tip on what made me want to take on something extra. In other words, I'm fortunate enough to still have a full-time job as a professor. We've switched over to online, and that's been a real learning curve, but it's been wonderful, and it's been good to be able to be supportive to my students during this time. So I've made it a point to learn all of the Zoom and the different apps that we can use and everything, just so that we can see each other and talk to each other like we're doing here right now and looking at each other. And so, it's busy. It's a full-time job with that, but I'm also the CEO of my own company. And it's that company that is hosting this particular 30-day. And so the company is Multicultural International Development Company. And we have a number of different components in the company. And one of those components is called the WE Network, which stands for Women's Empowerment Network. And that network has really been growing. We have over 100 women across. Actually, I have a couple of women that are abroad that are a part of the Women's Network. So we're steadily trying to grow that. Our website is midcllc.com. And I'll always make sure to put that information out there. But definitely visit the site. And a lot of people come on and do the live shows, I think, for IG for a number of reasons. Basically because they feel they have something to say and to share. And that's certainly my reason for wanting to do that, despite knowing that I have a full-time job as a professor as well as full-time as a CEO. And then I have a very large and loving family that I like to be a part of as well. So, we also often come on when we're entrepreneurs to be able to show what our skills are, so that if there are people out there that see that, wow, this is something that I'd like to, participate in, invest in, sponsor, produce, or, whatever. Oftentimes, those of us who want to get the word out, we use social media to do that, right? And I find that Instagram, I kind of got on Instagram through my children, who are no longer children, they're grown adults, right? And my grandchildren. And I find that Instagram is of more of a younger generation, yet there are some of us who are elders out here, and we're hanging with y'all on Instagram. And I just think it's a nice intergenerational opportunity to be able to share the different things that we do. Again, this is a new world that we're living in from the standpoint that things are changing. They're changing economically. And we're going to have to go back to things that we used to do that our elders knew all about, and certainly our ancestors, and that's bartering systems. And how do we support each other living communally and collectively, opposed to the individualistic way that we've been living, especially here in the United States. So, but that's not my biggest reason to come on and to advertise MIDC. It's a fantastic education company, and a lot of people now are looking, because things are going online. They want to be able to have different subject areas where we integrate cross-cultural concepts into those subject areas. And so I am getting tapped a lot to be able to do that particular work, right? The Women's Empowerment Network, I more or less had the idea that eventually I'd love for us all to acknowledge that we are philanthropists that want to be able to help those in need, help our communities, and help the world. And that's not always, that term doesn't mean monetarily, right? And so we'll be talking about that over the next couple of weeks. We still have a couple of weeks left for the 30-day. But again, as I'm just kind of sharing with you some things, I don't think I've shared all of this for our past couple of weeks together. So I'm glad I'm taking this time on Sunday as we're winding down and getting ready for the new week, because we've got some really, really exciting things coming down the pike for you for next week as well. To just stop and share with you from, the real side on why I'm doing this. And so, yes, I want you to know about MIDC. I want you to know about the beautiful things we're doing. But what I even realize even more so today is that I'm doing this because I have amazing grandchildren and great-grandchildren. My children already know, I know that they're absolutely amazing, right? But I'm doing this to show that, even at my age, right? And I said before, Richard Pryor used to talk about, this was a famous comedian for those of you who don't know who he was. But, he used to just say that we don't get old by being a fool, right? You have to be able to survive in this world, and oftentimes in the kinds of worlds that we live in, you have to be able to know how to survive in it, right? And thrive in it. And so I'm here for my family, and they've been showing up, and I'm telling you right now, I am just so, I have so much love in my heart that my grandchildren, starting from my oldest grandson on down to the 12-year-old. So I have two sets of grandchildren, my older set up until the 12, and then I have a younger set that's coming and still growing, I believe. So my grandkids, y'all, have been showing up, and this is what G has been wanting you to just know, that you have the power, you have so much love in your heart, that your ancestors have blessed us all with some very, very special gifts. My family is very super creative, and that's a blessing. And I want you to know, to continue to pass it down. It's a legacy. So when I ask myself, what can I do in this pandemic? I'm 66. I'm vulnerable to, being out there and perhaps getting sick. So I can't necessarily go to help the elderly or to do some of the other things that younger people can necessarily do. So what can I do? And so I just thought that, this is a way of me being able to give back. I've got a lot of knowledge over the years, and I've had a lot of great mentors and people in my life, right? I was looking at the bracelet I chose to put on today, and I can remember that Princess Francina gave this to me when we were taking students to South Africa, and we worked with the Ndebele people. And so she was, to be a queen in her village, and just having all of these different experiences and the knowledge that's been dropped on me to share, that we don't have to fret, okay? Our spirit, our Creator has us in the palm of their hands. And all we have to do is to believe in ourselves and our gifts, and don't care about what other people say. This is about you. This is about self-love and affection. So I hope I've made my point today, that my major reason right now for doing this is truly for my family, for my kids and those that will come after me, my nieces and nephews who've been on here. And my mentees that have been coming on. It's just elating to know that you would take the time to do this 30-day challenge with me. So with all of that said, we've been doing a lot this week. I'm wanting to know whether or not, even from the very start where we introduced the energy points and how we can key those energy points to be able to lessen our stresses, to be able to have exercise our intuition more so, tuning in more to the spirit, knowing more about the heart, knowing more about the third eye and how we can envision things and through the law of attraction bring those things to us, making sure that they are honorable. We've been covering so much stuff that I'm wanting just to check in with everyone today and see what questions that you might have at this point. Could be about breathing, could be about chakras. We've talked about this different stones and why stones relate to, giving us a sense of energy and just knowledge about the universe in which we live. So here we go. I really enjoyed you giving us storytelling. I also really enjoyed dancing. Will you be doing more of that? I certainly will. Now, next week we're going to be having a number of wonderful guests on the show. And I'm also proud to say that my MIDC team is actually my family team. And it's not because they're family, but because they're experts in their different areas. And so I'm going to be having my team on next week talking about their own areas of expertise, putting it in the context of self-love, and we'll be learning a lot from the team as well. So basically my three daughters are the ones who are the anchor points for me getting all these things done, as well as I call my sister now, in that she's now Dr. Donna Gudger, and she is so well trained in the area of therapy and crisis and the things that we're going through now, especially as it relates to being able to reach out very culturally and also from a standpoint of really having a very strong connection in her work to women of color. So we're going to be having her as a guest. I'm looking forward to Dafina, who is a Chinese medicine practitioner, acupuncturist, who makes her own. It's just Sister Ray, who we're going to be advertising. I've been getting a lot of different things I want to advertise for my Women Empowerment Network members. So we're going to be putting a lot out like that as well. So Marion, who is, I'm reading your message now, Marion, and Marion lives in Venezuela, but she is actually the MIDC's social media manager. So she said she missed the dancing yesterday and wondering also if I plan to do it again. I'm thinking that I was saying all of that to say, and I'm sorry I diverged sometime. I was really coming to the answer that although we're going to have these amazing guests, we're going to continue to integrate all of the different creative aspects of, at least for I have a very broad forte as it relates to the arts, and so you've been seeing a lot of that, and I definitely intend to do that. And dance is, of course, one of the things that really gets me in the zone when you talk about, just coming from the heart and feeling good. So that is going to come back. I am thinking, though, about having segments on our website through Zoom, actually doing like week intensive cross-cultural dance sessions, week-long sessions on using painting as a medium. So I am looking to do those things as well, but we'll continue to integrate the arts throughout our next 2 weeks as well. Okay. Yeah, just a shout out to you, Dee, there. Okay. Any other questions? You know, I know we're all at very different stages, and because I've been intentionally meditating, you know, back in the 70s, there was this transcendental meditation movement, and a lot of us hippies, right? I was a hippie dancer, artist, you know, whatever. But I always knew from birth, I would say, that there were special qualities about me. I was glad that my family helped to, they didn't judge me on me being the creative person and sort of spiritual person I am. But I began meditating formally at the age of about 21 years old. And so I've seen a lot from a spiritual perspective that many of you might just be beginning to get on that road. You're having a calling, that there's something more to you than what meets the eye, more to you than what we were told in schools. You know, we teach about the bones in the body, right? When we're in school and the kids can say all the bones, and they teach you about the 5 senses and the 4 food groups, but they don't teach about your energy points. They don't teach you about how the intuition works through the pineal gland that is right here, and how all of these, how we're wired as human beings. I know everybody knows that you've heard that saying that we only use 10% of our brains, okay? And that's our brain. But as far as the whole body is concerned, we're leaving a lot out. And so this is what this is about. And I'm just wondering where people are with this. Are you feeling, ask me a question. Throw me another question out there. And make it, if you can, make it related to where we're trying to go with knowing self through self-love. I'm just trying to give a minute, because I know sometimes it takes a minute for questions to come up. Okay, well, I guess you want to continue to hear me rapping a little bit, right? Okay. And I wasn't talking about, rapping, but we can do that too. We've done poetry. I think we need to get some serious music in there. But I'd like to call on some of you who I know do that professionally or semi-professionally to grace us with your voices with that. Okay, so talk more about creative ways to release anxiety through meditation. Okay, that's a terrific question. I think this is all very important knowledge. And I enjoy learning more and more. I'm a beginner and just trying to figure it all out. Okay, so with the, if you can I'm going to just say this simply, so everyone will be able to, at least will have a common understanding, okay? When you're really involved with something, so I'm thinking about, for instance, Anita, who runs on a daily basis. She's always in marathons, and this is her sense of training. I can bet you, Anita, that when you're doing that, you are so focused and in the state of mind, and that your body feels as one, and that everything is connected. When you totally let go of all of the thinking that we try to overdo, right? That we're taught to think and analyze. I think about my daughters. I think about Neanda when she's in her zone, for if she's setting up getting ready to style one of these celebrities, or she's getting ready to, I just had this beautiful opportunity about a week ago to see her in action to take I'm trying to think of the name of the store, Neanda, but the vintage, it was a vintage collection that this woman wanted to have her style and show how you could wear the clothing. And she was so into it. I could see that she was absorbed with that, and she didn't have all this other flurrying and anxiety going on once she was at it. You know, pineal gland becomes calamated with the exposure of a fluorinated water. Pure water helps to keep the pineal gland healthy. Pineal gland works to expand your third eye. Okay, and that's Sister Ray, who has been in this field. She and I go way back, I don't know, about 45 years, Sister Ray. But Sister Ray is very knowledgeable about these particular things as well. And Sister Ray, I'm hoping that you're going to be a guest live for us to be able to share some more of those kinds of things on what we can do. We're also going to be going to, you know, I can't duck this with you all. This is for real. It's what we put into our bodies as well. So self-love, this is a temple, okay? And self-love means that we have to try to take care of it through the foods we eat, what we drink, the exercise that we get, the passion that we have, that we put it to practice. All of that, you know, will help you to be the whole person that your soul, mind, and body is calling to be, right? So we're going to continue to do a lot of the creative things because they spark you being, and I keep saying this, in the zone, right? In the zone. When you're in the zone. So, taking this a step further, and I'm also going to be offering, we're going to have a retreat, a meditation retreat that will be a formal meditation retreat of breathing, centering, using that third eye that Sister Ray talks about. I often say it's our first eye, but our intuition to envision. And it's through that we begin to know that we're more than just we are. We have a whole lot of capabilities. And by relaxing, breathing, envisioning, its imagination, and see, creativity and imagination, they're twins. Okay? So when you're creative, your imagination is working, and imagination is the key to open up all of the secrets of the universe. And I say that, you know, not jokingly, in that the universe, we are micro replicas of what the universe is made of. That's what we're made of. It's just incredible. And so we'll begin to add that meditation. But I say first, feel it and recognize meditation being in the presence of mind when you're in the zone. And then start to take that same feeling when you close your eyes. So I had asked everyone to start in the mornings when you wake up. Take a few minutes before, because you're still in, levels of sleep where you can tap into that knowing piece, that meditation. Taking at least 5 minutes before getting up out of the bed and just lying there and breathing, and feel your heartbeat. Only concentrate on feeling the heartbeat. And you'll hear thoughts running through your mind telling you, we got to get up. It's 5 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. We got to do this. We got to do that. That's the mind. It's working. It's supposed to be doing that, right? But what you can do when you're in meditation is you observe the mind and say, oh, that's me. That's my mind thinking. But guess what? I'm concentrated right now on the heart. And so I'm feeling the heartbeat. And when you feel the heartbeat and you know that, okay, I got the chatter going on, then the chatter starts to go away and you just get into the zone. And in that zone, you ask yourself, what is my intention for being in the zone today? Do I want to just take a nice breath for peace? and it releases anxiety and all other things? Do I want to envision my new company and how that's going to happen? It's a time, it's creativity, it's imagination, and you're already doing that when you're in the presence of mind. We're in the presence of mind when we're totally engaged into what we're doing, like I'm doing right now. Because I don't use a script when I talk to you or anything. I let the heart talk. And whatever that heart is saying, that's what I'm throwing out there. Okay. So we've got some really great conversations going on here. Yes. And not holding on to those thoughts. And, my grandchildren are saying the same thing. And when you're teenagers to, I'd say at least age 30, you're still really developing in lots of different ways. We are until we die, but there's a specific time span that I just mentioned where at that time, we begin to be nervous because there's so much pressure in the world. There's so much expectation on young people to do this and to do that and to do this and to do that. And see, I'm old school, so I'm grounded in how I can hang tough no matter what happens. So I don't have that as much worry as we see maybe our younger people, or if we're watching the news every day. It's programmed to make you worry. So you have to balance it. If you're having to watch the news, also make sure you get outside your front door and get a breath of air. Breathe in some prana and focus in on your heart. Okay? How long do you meditate? It's as long, if you're asking me personally how long I meditate, in the morning I try to spend at least 10 minutes just totally having a blank slate, not even thinking about what I'm going to do for the day. It's just like letting my whole being be totally connected. And it's a feeling of relief and satisfaction. I'm just there enjoying it. And in the evening time, I try to maybe 15 to 20 minutes with the breathing meditation. And it's at that time that I'm calling on my ancestors to help us to bless this world. I'm calling on our loved ones, loved ones that we've lost, for safe passage of their spirits and where they're going. So it's that time of that other people would just say that it's their prayer. Okay, so I think that's probably a buzz for me to end today. I'm loving you. I see, hey G. Okay, so I see that it's 6:33. You tell us a story about how you started to explore creativity. I promise to do that next week, Marion. Okay. Tomorrow I am hoping to get Dr. Gudger on. Just doing a check-in with everybody, but we're going to talk about how we can do that creatively as well. And so maybe part of that creativity story will, kind of overlap with that as well. Could we do 45 minutes? Is that today that you're asking, Mary? I can say that we can do 45 minutes tomorrow, and the reason why I'm saying that, and you see me in my art shirt right now, is because we have an art session that's going to happen at 7. And so I know that my family is trying to tell me it's time for us to make it a wrap. Okay, but I want you, these are good questions that you've asked today. And okay, Mary, I got you, 45 minutes each day. Well, if people are down for that, we'll definitely consider that. I don't have a problem doing that as well. All right, I want to send peace and love. Everyone, just one time, but make it strong. We're going to say our full names and tell ourselves that we love ourselves and that we'll continue to take care of ourselves so that we may continue to take care of those who we love. All righty. Karen, Bernadette, Cardoza, McLean, Dade. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Stay blessed, everyone. Peace and love. We'll see you tomorrow, 6 sharp. Gotcha. Working on that 45 minutes, too. Bye-bye.
Hey, G.